Okay, in this video we'll take a look at CSS animations. So previously, before this spec came into existence, to animate an item on an HTML page, you would have to use JavaScript. But with the CSS animation, you can just animate any element and their properties using some basic things. So what I have here is a div with a class of box. And right now it's not visible. It'll be visible once we set things up. And then I have a basic reset. And then I have defined the box to be 150 pixels wide by 150 pixels high. And then for CSS animation, you use this thing called keyframes. And with keyframes, you can have a set of animation steps in percentages, or you can say to and from. So I have just two steps here, 0% and 100%. So you can imagine at the beginning of the animation, these things are going to happen. So the margin on the left is going to be -900, which will push the object off the stage or off the page. The background color will be this color, and then at 100% at the end of the animation, the margin left will be 900 pixels, so it'll push it onto the page. The background color will be a different color, so the transition will happen between the first and the last colors, and it will actually transition those colors smoothly for us, which is really cool. Then I'm actually changing the size of the element from 150 to 250 pixels, width and height. And then I have two transforms here. One is going to skew it, and then the other one is going to rotate it. And I'll have to do some adjustments here. But for now, nothing's happening. We can't see the object. So then you set up the keyframes, but you need to call in the keyframes. And the way that you call in the keyframes is by calling on the name of the animation within the element that you want animated. So the way that I do that is animation-name. And the name is slide in. And that's an arbitrary name. You can give it whatever name you want. So right now, it's going to animate, but there are some additional things that we have to put in here as well. So the next thing is the duration. Well, how it knows the name of the animation, but it doesn't know how long it should play. So then we have animation-duration. And you can do this in seconds or milliseconds. S is for seconds, MS is for milliseconds. So I'm going to do this over a period of 3 seconds, and then I'll hit the semicolon. And now you can see the animation. So the box comes in, slides in, and then it changes color, and then it stops. And the reason why it stops is because we need other animation properties, which we're going to go ahead and add in now. So one of the next item is animation iteration count. And this could be a number. Let's say that I want to play this 2 times. So I could put a number in here. And it will play. And then it will play again. And then that will be it. If you wanted to play continuously, you would put in infinite. And now it's going to play over and over and over again. So it goes in, and it stops, and then it disappears. So the disappearing part is kind of jarring, right? So what we want to do is we want to have it slide in, and then slide back out. So that would be the animation direction. So if I say animation direction, I'm going to say alternate. And then when that happens, I'll see it slides in, and then it slides back out. So that's the animation direction. And then we have an animation fill mode, and the animation fill mode controls kind of the direction of the animation, like when it's going to stop and when it's going to end. So if I say forwards, so it comes in, and it goes back out. And I don't think we'll see the effect of forwards or backwards here. The other option here is backwards. So this would play it in reverse. So we start at the beginning here and then go back out. And then just alternate from that. So it's continuing to alternate. We have an animation delay. And the delay can be set in seconds as well. So if I put a 1 second delay here. So before the animation starts, there's a second delay. And then I'll slide back out, and then it's going to delay again for a second, and then it's going to play again. And then you see how it's not sliding in and sliding out in a uniform way. It comes in pretty quick, slows down, and then slowly, and then it speeds up again. And that's the animation timing function. So with the animation timing function, there's a couple of different things. And so we have ease in. And that looks like that. And then we have ease out. You can see that really slows down and then gets quicker. And then we have ease in out. That one comes in fast, slows down, speeds up, and goes out. So it's kind of like both. If we chose linear, it would just be linear, which means that there would be no change in the speed. It would just go across at the same pace. So that's animation, CSS animation. You need to specify the animation in steps, and you can use percentages for that. You give the animation a name. So the name here is slide in. You can animate multiple properties, and then you specify all the values for the animation, the name, the duration, everything in here inside the element that you want animated. If you have multiple animations running, you'd have to set up more than one of these, and then you can set up, different elements on the page and have them animate differently. And that would be a little bit more complex. But this is the basics of what you can do with CSS animation. We already looked at transitions, and this is kind of like the bigger brother of when it comes to animation. The performance here is pretty good. With JavaScript animation, you can do some things too, and depending on your browser and a lot of other factors, one could be better than the other. So there's different approaches. But at least we have this approach in a very friendly, really easy to implement way, rather than writing a bunch of code. So that's CSS animations.